And before we get to this week's movie, just want to talk a little bit about Ghostbusters, because I had a chance to see it last night.
I saw it over the weekend myself.
Oh, good. We hadn't talked about that part before the show.
No.
I really liked it.
You know what? I was surprised myself, too. It's very reverential towards the original.
Yeah, there maybe are a few too many references, but not obnoxiously so. It's just, okay, maybe that's enough. It's like that one too many.
I think the main difference between it and the original was that this went into it knowing it was a family movie.
Right, yeah.
Where the original actually had, jokes about calling someone dickless.
Exactly, yeah.
They were softening up their stuff, from Caddyshack and Stripes and whatnot.
But they weren't quite there yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised. It's one of the few roles I've liked Melissa McCarthy in.
I think it's the first movie I've actually seen her in.
I've seen her in a few things. She was in Gilmore Girls, which is the only other role I've liked her in.
Yeah.
What's her name? Kate McMillan, though, stole it. Holtzman.
Oh, yeah.
Holtzman is one of my favorite characters in fiction now.
And Leslie Jones was good, too.
Oh, yeah, she was really good.
The power of Patty compels you.
Yeah, don't trust the trailers.
Hilarious.
Given the nature of the movie, it doesn't work in pieces. It kind of only works as a whole.
I'd never actually seen the trailers, which maybe,
The power of Patty compels you gag, it really looks horrible in the trailer. But it works really well in the movie.
They used that in the trailer, huh?
Yeah. They kind of cut up that scene a little bit and it looked horrible. But it worked really well.
Cut up. I mean, the whole point is she's,
Yeah. Kristen Wiig is basically the straight person, plays it perfectly.
Yeah. She's playing the Shelley Long part
pretty much, basically, yeah. And Chris Hemsworth is another one who stole the movie. I didn't know he could go buffoon like that.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun doing that to me.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's on par with the original.
Well, people romanticize...
Yeah, the original, I gave it a revisit a few years ago, and yeah, it's still good, but it doesn't hold up to my memory.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but the whole argument that, and we talked about this off air last week, Ghostbusters is not a pristine franchise before this came out
at all.
By any stretch of the imagination. No. The sequel was so ham-fisted, despite, Vigo, the, genocidal maniac, which is great.
Right.
The Carpathian, hasty.
And was it Peter McNichol? He was awesome. Perfect for the role.
But the cartoon actually called themselves
the real
Ghostbusters, which was an implication that the ones in the movie were not real.
Right. That's
not a pristine franchise. So to be like, oh my god, I can't believe they're rebooting something. By the way, Star Trek, what's it, its 12th movie? Don't get me wrong. I'm going to go see it and everything, but that's a reboot. Yeah. They're rebooting Ben fucking Hur.
Okay, and I'm sure there's a Spider-Man reboot a couple years away.
We're like a couple years overdue for a Spider-Man, the rate they've been coming out. So it's the way of the world reboots.
Right. So anyway, long story short, it's good. If you're at all interested, check it out. I would give it a 4.
Same here. It's a family movie, so don't go in expecting raunch comedy. It's not even PG-13 comedy. And don't expect a body count. There were some of the people online complaining about it wasn't didn't go enough into the horror side. It's wait,
it's
what
a comedy?
You think you're watching, man?
Yeah. I think this actually was a bit scarier than the original. With some of those early ghosts.
The original had some
a little bit, yeah. But the bit in the mansion was legit, at the beginning was legit scary. And there were a few spots here and there.
It's comparable to the library scene at the beginning of the original, I think.
Right, exactly.
Just the technology's better now.
Fair point.
The weird part, and of course, the whole feminism debate that this movie just blew up around it. They literally fight the symbols of patriarchy.
Yeah. And the main villain, Actually, one of my few criticisms, the main villain is kind of cardboard, but he is exactly the kind of asshole who was trashing the movie without seeing it just because it was an all-female cast.
I wish they had gotten like Patton Oswalt to play him. But, I mean, same body type, he might have gotten a few more laughs out of it.
Right. The only real downside, I mean, again, cardboard villain, but you don't really care about the villain. That's not the point.
He's in it very little.
Right.
I mean, but you do want to. I mean, a villain is something you should really take advantage of having.
Well, yeah, if they had a good villain, it would have been a 4.5, 5.
I think so too. I agree. That's the only thing that was missing.
The only really cringeworthy spot, and it's like a second, is Ozzy's cameo. All of the surviving Ghostbusters have cameos. They're really good, especially Murray.
Yeah, not sure how Ozzy fits in.
Yeah, the only other cameo that I could pick out was Ozzy, and it was a second of a line involving Sharon, the typical Ozzy shout. It's just annoying.
Well, Annie Potts had her.
Oh yeah, surviving Ghostbusters. I'm counting her as the original cast.
The theater really popped for all of them, really. Mm-hmm. Although people missed the Harold Ramis cameos.
Well, because he's no longer with us.
I pointed out to Mrs. Scotto while we're watching it, like the bust outside the outside her office was Harold Ramis.
Next time I have a chance to see it, I have to look for that.
And then someone had said, I didn't even notice this, but someone pointed out that the bobbleheads at the Cut Rate University that they were working
that's perfect.
Were Harold Ramis bobblehead dolls.
Nice.
In the community college gift shop or technical school or whatever it was.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, we both give it a 4. Check it out.
Yeah.